My god, I just can't draw hands. When I try drawing them, I always end up with stuff that looks like this. I tried everything, learning bones, drawing from references, nothing seems to work. I needed brown darts. Did I hear you, brown dart? Don't worry, I am here for you. You want to draw gorgeous, good looking, magnificent hands, but you just can't. Your hands tend to look like they got no bones, and even after watching tons of vids on the subject, you still don't feel like you're evolving. So today, we will go step by step to get you in a routine where you won't have to awkwardly hide them in your character pockets. Cause yeah, I know that you do that, don't you? I've been there and I learned the fundamentals that I'm going to teach you in that session. But first off, let me present myself to you. I am Ibrando and I am a manga artist since almost 7 years, and for a long time I struggled with drawing hands, for 3 main reasons. I first had no knowledge. This is really important, you need to know what you're doing. Then I had too much, and it made me overthink, and overthinking made me have no confidence. In that learning session, I'm gonna help you overcome all those issues. I know how hard it is to get them to look great because I have been there, trust me, but I followed a routine that got me into doing hands in my own art style. First off, we're going to do the boring stuff, which is to study the composition of the hand, so that's gonna be our first part. That's an important part, so I have to teach it to you because that's basically the recipe for us to cook, and that's what we're going to do. We are gonna cook. Then I will put everything we're about to learn and show you how I actually draw hands on a front view, side view, from the back, and then we will study a fist for you to see and learn how the hand can articulate itself. So that's our second part. Then I'll give you some tips to make them look good and some trainings you can do right after the vid, and that will be our final step. Okay, let's get to it. This is a hand, and it can be divided in 4 parts that you can cut like this. The closer the color is to red, the more it can articulate itself. Here we have the thumb muscle, and as you can see, it's closer to red than you expected. And that's because the thumb muscle can actually articulate itself way more than the other muscles. Just look at your own thumb. It can move way further than your other fingers, and it's a really big muscle in your hand that can literally support a huge weight. That muscle is the base of your thumb movement. The second really important muscle in the hand is the finger muscle, which is surprisingly a muscle that most people tend to forget because people focus too much on fingers. But I'm here to tell you that not forgetting that muscle will make your hands look way better, because it's the muscle that will make the hands you draw look like they are really folding. Without it, you wouldn't be able to hang on stuff, for example. Then my favorite one, the fingers, that you can all cut in 3 parts except the thumb that only has 2 parts. With that one, you're gonna see it's not really that hard actually. And the final part, which is the base, that only moves because of the wrist. Now we have everything to actually start studying how hands works. So we're going to start studying the finger muscle first, because I think that that's really an important part of the hand, and like I said before, it surprises me how most people tend to forget that muscle. So for us to study it, let's look at this reference. Here you can see that every part we have seen is present on the reference, but we want to learn one spot, which is the finger muscle. Let's see how it works. The finger muscle is that part of the hand, and it can only move forward and a little bit backwards. That's the muscle that helps you have a good grip for everything. It could be climbing or just holding your phone to subscribe to the channel. But here I am not teaching you anything. One thing I can teach you is how important it is in your hands. The reason of why I want to start studying this part of the hand first is because most people think that the hand falls here, because people teach you that the hand is composed of the base, the thumb, and the fingers, but that's wrong. Let me show you pictures that will help you understand how it works. In every picture, the hand is folding because of the hand muscle. So understand that knowing how to use that muscle would definitely make your hand stand out from the others. Now, let's take a closer look at the thumb muscle. That muscle is basically the finger muscle, but way more flexible, and only affects the thumb. It usually takes half of the hand. There's not that much things to say about that muscle, only that it's a pretty hard one to draw when you want to put it in different angles. But no worries, we will see how you can simplify it to draw it after. Then the base. The base is a pretty hard shape too, but when simplified it looks like this. I personally like to be way less strict on the way it's shaped because I now have way more experience on drawing hands, but for you we're gonna start simple. Let's look at our last part of the hand, the fingers. Okay, so for the fingers, there are basically 4 long sticks and a short one. That's it. The best way to learn how to draw them is to really study references and 3D shapes. If you know how to put forms in volume well, that will be easy for you. The lesson here is that the hand is really just a bunch of muscles and articulations. That's that simple. But when showing you all that, it can seem a little bit hard at first, but don't worry. At the end of that session, you'll have everything to draw perfect hands. And if you still cannot do it after that session, that will have to be because you didn't give a like to the vid, so do it now. Okay, so let's now do what we're here to do, learn and draw the hand. So here I'm really gonna do it the simple way, and then I will show you exactly how I draw them. So let's start with the front view. Here I start with a simple base like we saw before. Then I do them little curves that dictate the placement of the fingers, and from here we can do the thumb muscle. The important thing with hands is the order you use to make them. If you start with the fingers, your hands won't have any structure and it won't help you with making good proportions, because that's most people's problem, the proportions. And doing the thumb muscle just after putting the placement of the fingers will directly help you with good proportions. The thing you have to keep in mind is that nothing should be exaggerated, or that if you do, it has to follow the art style you're going for. Then I did the fingers with these proportions, and that's when you actually start to understand that hands are not that hard, because you just have to copy your own hand. At least with the front view, because the side view gets kinda harder because of a few things. Here we really have a few informations to know and understand. On the side, the fingers really dictate everything, especially the thumb, and the hand is not completely flat. You can look at your own hand to see how curved it can be. Like the front view, you have to start with the base. Add the thumb, the fingers, basically everything we saw before, and you do that with the informations we saw previously. It will require a little bit of practice, but over time you will start to see progress. Like I always say, don't hesitate to use references, that is really important. Now from the back. With the back you have to really show that the hand has bones, that the hand has structure. That's really important if you want to make the back different from the front. The curve can help a lot too, but the most important thing to know is that the hand has volume. Don't forget that, and that the hand can be tilted. And finally, the fist. That's when the hand has the most visible bone and muscle structure. So here the things to know are that the finger line is a curve, it is not flat, that the finger size is still visible, and that there is bone structure. That's it. The best way to actually understand how to draw fist is to get references and use them. You can redo it or study it. Studying is really important. Hands are really flexible and you will need time and practice to get to a good result. So, today we first studied the composition of the hand to get a glimpse of what we were about to study. We then talked about how every piece of the hand works. We saw how the hand is in different angles and the proportions. Then we saw how to draw them, the order to use, the different parts and the things to remember. That's it. Now I'm gonna give you a few personal tips for drawing hands. A really good trick I like to use to draw hands is to count the beginning of the index as a part of the base. You will be able to do that with a little bit of training and experience, but that really helped me to make fluid hands. Another tip that is really important is to look at how other artists draw hands. I personally took a lot of inspiration from Giga Akutami back then, and I ended up finding my own way to draw them. But taking inspiration is not bad at all. It could be anyone. Me, Giga Akutami, anyone. As long as you like the style, taking inspiration is okay. Another tip that you can start doing when you will see that drawing hands actually gets easier is to study hand bones. People might think that it's boring, but I am telling you, you could be surprised at how complex our hands can be. And finally, the last tip is to subscribe. I mean, you supporting a new content creator won't hurt you. That's free, and I think that you would even like to be part of an art channel growth. Just saying that. I don't only do how-to vids, I study artists and replicate their style, like I did in my last video about down art style. I will do drawing sessions of me just drawing and yapping, basically living life, so yeah. If you're a beginner artist or a really experienced one, join us. Next goal is 100 subscribers. I am sure that we can do it. That was your brown dart on how to draw hands.